Hello everybody. It's time for my Make It Monday Facebook Live. So it looks like we've got a few people on here. I'm just going to give it a few minutes to let's just chat, I guess. This is the kit we'll be kind of showcasing tonight. This is going to be my ordering special. And the card projects are on my floor because there's a lot of stuff. So while I am chatting along, I'm going to put my sentiments on my blocks. So how have you guys been doing? I hope it's been had a problem getting into it. Yeah, Teresa, I was a little bit late just because I needed to get my host code and I wanted to check on the kits. And they're still not available, but I know they're going to come back. So I just want to make sure that I had that information. So how was your week, everybody? Or actually, I don't think I've been live for like maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, something like that. But I had a great time in Utah. I traveled last Wednesday? And then I came home last night, so long days of traveling. It wasn't too bad when I came back yesterday, except for we had to wait an hour on in the plane. Apparently, the pilots didn't show up, or they were double booked, or what have you. I don't know. So then we had to wait for some other pilots to come on board. So I think we were waiting for an hour. And I have to say, there was a lot of kids on that plane. I could not believe it. Newborns all the way up. And those kids were exceptional. So I never even heard them screaming or yelling or anything. So that was really nice. You know, a long flight, sometimes a 4-hour flight, you don't want to hear kids screaming all the time. So anyway, let's see. I'm going to just see if, can't wait to hear about my trip. Yeah, so I could go on and on and on about the trip, but it was really fun. We had just about 80 Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, and they came from, most of them, like 99%, were from the United States. And then a few others came from Germany and Canada. So I met a lot of demonstrators. Do I remember all of their names? Absolutely not. If you don't know me, I am horrible with names. But let me just show you what I have. And let me just clean up my area here. And I'm going to show you what I got. So I participated in the swap. So can you imagine what about 80 cards looks like? I'm going to show you. So we have these bags, and they are full of cards. And this is so much fun because this is going to give me so much inspiration. So I can't even put them all the way up here. So, and then guess what? I got a whole nother bag. So what I want to do with these is I want to photograph them and then kind of put them maybe in a movie type of thing. But look at this. It just keeps coming out, right? This one. I actually helped the demonstrator, Kay, no, it wasn't Kay. Of course, I can't remember her name, but one night, the first night we were there, some of the demonstrators did not have their swaps done. So, of course, us, we are all very helpful in our card making. So we were down in the lobby and helping each other get their swaps done. So it was a lot of fun. I can go through these really quickly, but it would probably take too much time. So I'm going to have these. Oh, look at this one, you guys. It's a Kleenex box, and she used a Kleenex. Now, that's pretty cool, right? I'm going to take this one out. Who is this? Chris Carmichael. And this is really nice because we have their information. So if we want to know how to create the card, we can get in touch with that demonstrator. So look at this. Can you see the little tissue paper? Now that's super creative if you ask me. And I don't know if she stamped anything. Yep, she did stamp a spoonful of hearts on that one. So, or like the brick embossing folder, which I do have, but I haven't used it yet. So I love this card. Okay, so again, I could go over and like there's so many cards here. Maybe I will do a video once I get them out of the envelopes. I just haven't had any time, you guys. My craft room is a chaotic mess because we are having 11 windows replaced upstairs, every single one of them. And the contractor comes and goes, and there's a lot of work here. And my craft room isn't done yet. So he's almost done, but not quite. So I have to keep everything away from the windows. So half of my room is on, like half of my craft room is actually almost all of it is on one side. So it's just a little crazy here. But this is, I mentioned in my email, if you are on my email contact list, I sent out an email this morning saying I was going to be announcing a giveaway. And this is what I have for a giveaway. I've been holding this because it is from the mini catalog, January, I think it is, yeah, to June. And it's got, remember Saleabration? So I did a paper shear and I had one left. Of course, it always comes with a tag, and I have a card here as well. But I'm going to be giving this away, and this is how it's packaged. This is the Abstract Beauty. We've got Artfully Composed, Flowering Fields. These are all 6x6 except for the other one, Heart and Home. Hey Sports Fan. This is my favorite, New Horizons, 6x6. Sweet Talk. Symbols of Fortune, that was one of my card club paper. And then Daffodil Afternoon bonus pack. So I am going to be giving this away, and it will be given away at the end of the month. And this is my grandmother's ribbon, by the way. You guys know I like to package up really everything nicely and include some kind of ribbon in there, whether it's mine or my grandmother's. So this is my grandmother's fancy gold and red and black ribbon. So I'm sure that's probably like, I don't know, I would say like 60, 70 years old. She lived to be 100, so I don't know, but I'm sure it's got to be that old. I inherited all of her ribbons, so anyway, I still have a little bit left, but not very much. So to qualify for the giveaway, you need to use a current host code. Now, I've got 2 going on right now, and I will be updating my blog, so you can't find it there yet. But the host code this is the exact URL you will need to get right to the host code, which is S9ABGAGN. So anybody that places an order of $40 or more, you have to use this host code. This is the biggest thing, okay? Because I have 2 going on, 2 host codes. And if you don't have this, or if you don't use that one, then I don't know which host code you want to use. So $40, and then we'll get you right to my website, and it can be $40 plus. So that will get you an entry into my drawing, which I said I'll be giving away on the 30th of the month. And I will probably announce that on the, let's see, July 1st. Anybody that's placed an order right now that hasn't used a host code can be entered in that. I'm going to go back to June 1st and look at my orders. And if you do not have a host code tagged to your order, I will add that one for you. But going forward, you need to use the host code. But enough of that. All right. So at the alternative incentive trip, which was so much fun, you guys, you have no idea. We had a like a couple hours to make cards. So we made these. I got 3 of each. So a million thanks. Seriously grateful for you. And thank you. So those were from the kit. And the kit is called A Million Thanks. Now, it is on back order, but we will, I'm sure it's going to come back. So don't get all, you know, upset about it being on back order, because I'm sure it's going to be coming back because they still have it listed. So eventually they will be bringing it back. So it was very, very popular. It sold out so quickly. So I'm sure you'll just have to keep checking back and forth, and I'll try to let you know as well. The cards that we made, they're all tagged on the floor. So let me see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so with this, we combined the stamp set to create 4 other cards. So all I can say is thanks. And this is just your generic thank you. And seriously grateful for you. And a million thanks. Now this one is kind of cool because we're going to fussy cut out this little flower here. And then this flap gets tucked underneath the flower so it holds everything together. Now you can't stand this one up only if you actually take it apart and kind of do this. But then you can't really see it. So, but I like how this one is tucked under there. I've never done that. So we're going to give that one a try. So let's see. We used that flashy ribbon, organdy, and that carried over from the catalog prior. So let's kind of get started creating all these cards tonight. So we're going to use some thick white, basic white. Let me just grab this one here. This one is the one we're going to make first. I've got to make it a little bit differently because I do not have the potted succulents dies. So I'm going to try a little different. I got 2 different dies that I'm hoping will work. And this one is the beautiful shapes. I've already die cut this piece here. And then I also chose, this is from the Natural Prints dies. Hopefully this one will work. So we'll check that one out and see how it all goes. So these are all the pieces, and I already die cut 2 of those sentiments. So I have a question, you guys. I came home, I had these cards all on my desk, and I had my windows open. Anybody in Vermont have a pollen issue? Because I picked these up and they were all gritty. I hate pollen. Like, when is it going to go away, right? I just dislike it so much. So these were all these cards here were so messy. I hope that my work surface isn't all gritty, because who knows how the stamping will go. Let me grab some Evening Evergreen ink. Now, in that Million Thanks kit, you get a Stampin' Spot, Evening Evergreen. You guys know that's my favorite. You get some mini Stampin' Dimensionals, okay? And then you'll get a block. You also will get the stamp set here, which I don't know if you can see. But I did not use, well, I did use those on the envelope, but it's all about thank yous. And I love these sentiments for sure. So that's what we're going to be using. And I think I've got all the sentiments I want on here. So I'm going to see if all I can say is thanks will fit on one of these dies. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So let me just find my sentiment. Okay. I think it's going to fit on one of these, but it is going to be super tight. So since we're working with the photopolymer stamps, I'm going to get my piercing mat out. And these dies have the little etching around the edge, both of them. So make sure you're stamping with that etched mark coming, you know, on the top. So all I can say is thanks. Let's see how it goes, you guys. There's no right and wrong. It's just got to fit. So that one fit nice. I don't like that shape, but it might be the one that we have to go with. This is the one I like better. I just don't know if it's going to fit. Let's see. Oh, it did. Phew. It's a little big. The font is a little bit big for that shape, but I think it'll work. I'm going to go with that one. So that's super easy. Don't forget that you want to put your DSP on your envelope flap, or you want to just stamp on your front of your envelope. So I'm going to be doing that as well. The Million Thanks comes with envelopes already. Let me just show you those. They are white. Oh, I got some Evening Evergreen ink on that one. So they're all white, kind of white. They've got a little, they're not like the bright white. So can you see the difference here? It's kind of got a little bit of gray in there. But you can see how I stamped that front. So they've got these little Evening Evergreen stripes. And all of them are like that. So it's a little decorative if you like stripes. And I like stripes, so I think you can play with stripes, definitely. I mean, my favorite is florals, but I was asked a question at the incentive trip, alternatives incentive trip, I want to say. Do I like dots or stripes? And I chose stripes. I just think that that attracts me more than dots. But anywho, we are going to assemble this card. Let me grab my glue. I have my adhesive toolkit out there with me, so I haven't unpacked it yet. So hopefully all of my adhesive works. All right, so I did put the sizes for you as well. So here is our, this is not thick basic white. I must have grabbed just some regular. But this is your A2 card, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and we scored it at 4 1/4. And then we've got the Scallop Contours dies. Who has these? Like, these were a carryover, and I'm so happy that they were carried over. And then here's that little bit of DSP. I'm going to show you the DSP after I create this card. I did forget to show it to you. This one is cut 4 by 5 and 4 5/8 by 3 1/4. Okay, so that is that size. This is the back side of it, which is kind of pretty too. That would make a nice baby card with that blue. So I'm pretty sure this is spent, like, yeah. So I'm gonna use my seal. Sorry, Debbie Franklin. Oops. See, I gotta get it going. Debbie gave that to me for my birthday. And I don't know if Karen Rose on here, my fabric bags made it. And they are super pretty. And I forgot to bring them up to my craft room. On Friday night, I'll show you guys. Karen Rowe makes these awesome bags. And if you're interested, I'm sure I could get you her information, at least her email address. And I'll show you those on Friday night. Okay, so that piece fits really nicely on that white, basic white scalloped rectangle there. The next thing we did was I put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back side of this panel here. And I chose to put 5 because it is a large panel and it needs a little bit of support. The reason why I put this one a little bit higher is because we're going to run the ribbon on the back side. So let me just press those down really well, and then I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and I'm going to release the backings really quick. Do you guys notice I got a new watch band? The other one was so disgustingly gross because I hike with it and it was pink and it was like probably 1.5 years old. So I got a new watch band, and I love it. It's great. I hiked after work this morning, prepping still for the long trail, and I like how this just kind of stood very still. And we went to a market on Saturday. Yes, I think it was Saturday. Yes, it was Saturday. And the Toucan, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a theater outside amongst all of the beautiful red rocks. And they had a market. It was kind of like a farmer's market, but it was all based on art. And it had to be handmade. Most of it was handmade, but not all of it. So I needed to get a watch band because that other one was gross, and I ended up throwing that one away. So it is in the garbage out in Utah. All right, so with the scallops, you have to thread it through one of these holes here, okay? So to do that, you need to go down through one of the holes. You can choose whatever one you want. And then it's going to come around the back side. Okay. And then it's going to come up through the other side. Make sure you're on the same hole here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to thread it up this one. And just pull that right through. Now you want to make sure that ribbon is flat on the back side. And mine is a little twisted here. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay. I'm going to put this down on the basic white. And I'm just kind of looking at all 4 sides. And now I can still thread this through to create that bow on the left side. And I love this ribbon, of course. You guys know I used it a lot. And let's see if I can tie a bow on camera. It's the worst thing in the world to try to do when you have people watching you and it's live. So, oh gosh, I am like using way too much ribbon. Hold on, I don't like to waste. So let's try to cinch that back down and see if we can save a little bit of ribbon. All right, so let me grab that. Let's see if I can do it. Not too bad. It's a little loose, but yeah, I want to say it's too loose, but I might be able to fix it with a glue dot, which I think I can. So we're going to go with it. Let me just grab my ribbon scissors. I'm going to just angle cut that one. I'm not going to put the glue dot down yet because I want to put the focal point on first. So here's the sentiment. We've already done that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my new punch, and it's called Lasting Label, the item number 158651. And we're going to punch out some of that blue designer series paper. Doesn't matter where. I don't like to waste any, so I get right to the edge and we punch that out. Now, isn't that cute? Like, that is so... you guys know I love punches, so I'm going to probably be using this one quite a bit. All right, so then what I did was I adhered this one straight down to that label we just punched out, and I used my seal. And I'm just going to kind of center it, see where that's arched, the designer series paper. We want to make sure we kind of get it in the same, so see how that arches around, and you want to kind of line it up with this arch as well. I think I did a pretty good job. You can also look from the back side if you did center it, because you can see the white. I think that's good, so I'm going to just squish it down there. Next thing, this one is it's got the Stampin' dimensionals on it. I will add 4, 1 to each corner. And in the middle, that's where that ribbon is going to lay down. So we're just going to take your pick. and release these. Now, how many people have used your take your pick to take those backings off? Does anybody else do that? I think it's like genius. It works so well. Okay, so I think what I want to do is, this is going a little bit crazy, but by adding a glue dot, it should work out well. I like how this is centered, and you can see a little bit of that ribbon on here, about 1/2 inch. So we're going to squish it down. And then let me find my glue dots, and I'll take one off here. Again, with my take your pick tool, I'm going to slide it underneath the knot, and I want to angle this up a little bit because I don't want that sentiment covered by that bow. So by doing that, it should kind of stay, hopefully. All right, that's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. The other thing that comes with the A Million Thanks kit is some embellishments. I used all of them on my, well, these aren't the ones that came on it. Let me just show you. They're the little black ones that have like, they're very like smooth, I guess, and they're not very high. So that's the ones that came in the kit. We were given the solid faceted gems to work with on this, because it matches really nice with this paper. So what I did was, on every single card, I used 3 different colors. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to use 3 different colors. So I'm going to put this one is, I think it's Evening Evergreen. Let me just check. Yes, I like this one. It's Evening Evergreen. I think this one's Petal Pink. I haven't had a chance to look at the colors. And then I'm going to grab one of the blue ones. You can use either. There's a darker one here and a lighter one. Balmy Blue and Pool Party, I believe. So we're going to add 3. So we've got 2 down here and 1 up there. And that is your card. So you can, let me just show you a different kind of look here. That's with the succulent dies, and this one is with the Nature's Prints dies. Yes, no, oh wait, Natural Prints dies. So they look really nice either way. Okay, same sentiment, same ink color. So let me just separate them so you can see it a little bit better. They looked crazy. All right, so I'm going to just check through to see if there's any questions with this card. And then if not, I'm going to move on to the next one. All right. Okay. Hi, Laura. Nice to, Laura. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Izon. You are Laura's downline. So I thought we weren't supposed to show the Saleabration catalog. We're not. I haven't shown the Saleabration catalog. Yeah, so Lynn, we're not supposed to show the Saleabration catalog. I have not shown it on my live. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. I saw a card that when you open the card, there was a tissue box inside. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, yes, thank you, Debbie Franklin, for answering that. You can show the products and the cover and the back cover too, but you can't show what's inside of that catalog. That is correct. Okay. All right, so there's no questions on this one, so we're going to move on to the next card. So this one was, let me see. Just looking for that other one. No. Okay, so that's that. And let me, actually, I'm going to show you the Designer Series paper, you guys. It's so pretty. And I have a new pack. I did get this one out in Utah. So we had a nice little bag, a retreat bag. And I think I can show it to you. I don't know if it will fit on camera, but let me just see. Yep, it kind of does, but it's humongous. And mine got really dirty from the airplane. Bummer. Okay, so it says, leave a little sparkle wherever you go. So isn't that really nice? It's got a nice little bottom here that will not wear out. Nice little pocket. In the inside, it's padded. And there's 2 different slots there. On the side, we've got like a little pen holder, maybe your cell phone. And then on the back side, it's got this nice little thing here. I'm not sure what that's for, but maybe it's just decoration. And look at these. Like, these are like solid. Okay. So we got this bag full of products. And part of it was the designer series paper. So let's take a look at it. I haven't designed my card club yet. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow or on Wednesday, my day off from work. So I'm sure this is going to be it. I got to check inventory, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be the paper. It is called, let's turn it around. We always have the name on the back side. It's Awash in Beauty. Of course, it's 12 by 12. The colors that it comes in, Balmy Blue, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, Mary Merlot, Mossy Meadow, Polished Pink, and So Saffron. So let's take a look at this really pretty paper. You can see all those colors in this one here. Now this one, I'm going to show you how to cut the paper, or at least I'm going to try to show you. And then on the back side, we've got these nice little Blushing Bride kind of squares with the white. And then here's a really nice big one. This reminds me of my grandmother. I don't know why. Maybe she had wallpaper like that. I'm not sure. And then here's a Granny Apple Green pattern. I like how it's kind of like shaded different greens. And then this one too is very, very big prints of flowers and foliage. And on the back side is the pink Blushing Bride. Of course, we get 2 pages or 2 sheets of every pattern, which is really nice. We're going to be using this. We just used this pattern here. And on the back side was those little Balmy Blue flowers. And then this one's really bold. Lots of Mary Merlot on it. Blackberry Bliss definitely works with this, and that's the card base I'm going to be using. And then on the back side, it has this nice little Mossy Meadow green. I haven't used Mossy Meadow in a while. I like this pattern too. It's really nice. Okay, all the colors again. And on the back side, we get this really bright pink. All right, so that is the designer series paper. I love the patterns. It just seems very, very happy, bright, cheerful. And again, you could make baby cards with this too, because you've got the Balmy Blue, and then you've got the pink, which is coming up right here. So girl, boy, doesn't matter. All right, so that is the paper we are using. Here's another pattern that will be great for baby cards. Okay, so again, that's called Awash in Beauty. If you want the item number, it is, let's see, 158973. You can also find it in the annual catalog. It is not on back order or low inventory, so you can order that one and make sure you use my host code, right? Okay, so the next one, let's see, we're going to make this card next. So we're going to have to cut the designer series paper, which is always really hard when you have a nice print. So we're going to do that next. So let me grab the pattern. All right, so this is the pattern we're going to be cutting in half, if I dare. I'm going to be trying to cut a 3 by 3 and 3 3/4 by 5 piece of the designer series paper. All right, so let me grab my paper trimmer. So for this one, what I would do is there's a lot of white space up here, okay? We need, if you can see here, we're going to stamp thank you right directly on the designer series paper. So what you need to do is you need to make sure you have, let me just see how much with my ruler, about 1 inch of white going, you know, across. So let me, it's going to be really hard to do this. So let me, I think if we just cut it in half, it's going to work. Let me just double check because I don't want to ruin this paper. Yeah, that should be fine. Sorry, I smell smoke. Like, oh, I wonder if it's my neighbors again having a bonfire. Okay, here we go. We're going to cut it in half, right? Can't do anything about it now. We've got 2 sheets. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to leave this white up here. And then we want it to be 5 inches. So I would cut it this way. Okay. And then I would turn it this way and find that it's 3 3/4. We're going to save this one because we can use it. We'll be using it. Okay, so that's how you cut this piece. We're done with the paper trimmer. And let me just put it in my wall. Okay, so now since we got this one, let me grab my piercing mat, Evening Evergreen, and let me find the thank you. So this one's kind of a fancy font. And I'm just going to ink up off camera. And then you get 1 chance, you guys. So what you want to do is just kind of hover over where you think the thank you is going to look best. I think it's going to look best over here because we can put some of those embellishments over on this white side. So I'm going to make sure that the T and the Y are the ones that are the longest. So they're going to come in this area right here. And we're just going to stamp. Okay, so that's not bad, right? You don't need anything, no die cut whatsoever. Don't forget, you can always stamp on designer series paper if it does work out for you. Next part is just really super easy, you guys. If I have my card kit. Okay, there's lots of white in this card. This would make a really nice wedding card too. So here's the thick basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5, of course, and scored by 4 1/4. This white is your regular white, and it's cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, and then it's going to get layered right on this one here. Now, my sample card has a little bit of a bigger border. You guys know me, I like 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to, I cut the white down a little bit smaller because that's what I kind of like. So I'm going to take my seal and then we will layer this on. So what I do is I kind of hold it in the left side here, the lower one. It's 1/8 of an inch, so you kind of have to kind of hover over it once you find it. Your eyes track all the way up to the top on the left side, and everything else, as long as you cut your paper straight, should go in. And I look like I've got just a little bit less of a border there, but you guys know what I was talking about, right? So, all right, we're going to do the same thing we did on the other card. We're going to add 5 Stampin' Dimensionals and 1 in the middle, but a little bit higher. And I gotta push those down because you don't want them to come off. And then we're gonna grab take your pick tool and we'll stab those right in the back and just take them off. And see how they just stick to your tool. I love this one. Okay, so then let's grab that ribbon, beautiful ribbon. And we're going to create another bow. And this is how I like to do it. So I make sure it's flat. Let's pull in the card base. Okay, as long as it's not on a Stampin' Dimensional, you'll still be able to move that ribbon back and forth. Okay, so that's on Stampin' Dimensionals. It gives it nice dimension. And then all you need to do is create your bow. All right, 2 cards in a row, and I'm making a bow. Another bow. So you could, if you really struggle with bows and making, you know, tying them, then a knot bow would look good. You could also cut a piece of the ribbon and adhere it on the back side, take another small piece and then tie it around, and you could make a bow that way, or a knot bow. And then if you really struggle, you could use a bow maker. I use the 10-second bow maker. Create your bow and then put a glue dot on the back side of it and then stick it onto the ribbon. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. And then again, I'm going to take my scissors and cut that right off. And that one's pretty good. So all you really need to do now is just kind of move it in place. Where do you want that ribbon to land? So for me, I want it to land right about here. So I was just wanting to pull up the ribbon so you can see where I want this knot to go. It's a nice little open area here, and the ribbon will fill in that area on the card. So we're just going to take it, drop it down. I'm going to move it a little bit to the left side if I can. Yep. Okay. Then, oh, it's too far. I'll try again. It just needs like a little bit. Yep. Okay, that's good. So again, we're going to use our mini glue dots and just add it to the tip of your take your pick, and you can roll it so it's not so big. Okay. And then slide it underneath the knot. Press the knot with your finger and then just release it. And that's looking pretty good. Okay. Now I mentioned that we were going to be adding some of those embellishments up there in the white area. So let's grab those. Again, these are called the solid faceted gems. If you want the item number, it's 159189. And again, we're going to take your pick tool. I am going to grab the Balmy Blue. And these, if you notice, they have 2 different sizes, which is great. So I'm going to add 1 up there. And then, as you can see, I didn't use too many of these really bright pinks. And then I want to put one down here, probably in this area. And let's see, I can try a pink. Let's see what it will look like. I don't think it really matches. And that blue doesn't either, this blue up here. So I think I'll just take the light Blushing Bride, and we're just going to put it right in that white area here and call it good. Okay, so that's this one. We got 2 more to go. If you want to stick with me, I'm going to just move these Post-it notes over here, so if you want the measurements, you can have them. All right, so that's this one and this one. Okay. Oops, I'm going to change a message here. Okay, so let me check the comments and see if there's anything else there that you guys need to know before I move on. Okay. Stinking cute bag. It is so cute, you guys. The strap is your sweater or jacket. Oh, shoot. Okay, stay strong, Denise. No more paper. You're going to want to order this, Denise. I'm going to tell you. Oh, others have, Lynn? Well, that's interesting. Other people have shown the inside of the Saleabration and mini catalogs, because that's against policy. So I don't like that, but the lunchbox kit with the products inside was kind of cool. Yes, I just ordered that, you guys. The lunchbox kit. When I get it, I'm going to show it to you. I placed my order this morning, and I'm sending it today. And I might have the products, I might be able to show them to you guys on Friday. So that would be super good. I want to do the lunchbox kit as a ordering class as well. All right, so don't you think these are really cute? So cute, right? All right, so if you're lucky, you might get one of these thank you cards. All right, so the next one is this one here. So let me grab the pile. Let's see, where is it? Right here. Okay, so in this one, we used one of these little labels that were in the Million Thanks kit. Let me just see if I have one. I have to have one because I hope I didn't use them all. Hold on just a second, you guys. Well, I might have to improvise. I don't know. That's not going to look good either. I don't think I have one. Thought I had one though. All right, I'll have to think about. Oh, duh! It's right here, you guys. Oh my God, how embarrassing. Okay, so this came in the kit. So I love how our kits are transferable into regular cards as well. So if you have extra paper pumpkin kits with labels or banners, make sure you don't throw them away. You can use them on other cards, you know, the one cards that you make. So with that said, we are going to, let me just stamp here. I did not stamp my other envelope, so I'm going to do that at the same time. So seriously grateful for you. Okay. I want one of those flowers up there. I think personally, when you have like a design like this, I think it looks a little awkward with two up there. Just my preference. You might like it that way. I prefer it this way. So I want to make sure the seriously comes up here. The grateful, the G, is going to go into this little flower over here, but that's okay. We're going to just make sure that it's hopefully straight. Yep, not too bad. Since I have this stamp, I am going to grab an envelope so I don't have to stamp again. I'm going to just stamp that. Doesn't that look really nice on your envelope? Never send a naked envelope in the mail. And then since I've got the green evergreen out, I'm going to stamp this envelope with the thank you. All right, isn't that fun? Really pretty. All right, that is all of our stamping. So now we're going to take the pieces out. This I need to cut right here, this one. And here's our thick basic white. Again, same size A2 card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I swear that's a song. And now this DSP is cut 4 by 5 1/4. This is the other side. All right, I like the softness of the Blushing Bride. And for me, this one right here, if you cut it this way, has this darker kind of shading on it. I like that to be on the bottom and go lighter. So heavier colors on the bottom, kind of like a sunset if you kind of want to make it that way. All right, so just a 1/2 of an inch on series paper, and we're just going to layer this right down on the white. Simple, simple. Now, this is the piece that we are going to use. I just want to make sure it's the right size. Yeah, I do need to cut this down a little bit. So this is using your scraps, right? And I just want to cut this one It's 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. So let me just grab my trimmer and cut it to size. Okay, 4 3/4 and 2 1/4, which it is, so that's all right. Okay, now this one gets adhered right down on the card base here. So again, we'll take our seal, again, just a 1/2 inch of your adhesive will work. It's super sticky. I'm going to slide this down on the bottom, and what I want is equal borders on the left, the bottom, and the right. So just kind of hover over until you believe you've got it right. That looks pretty good. And there we go. All right, now it's stuck down for good. Next thing we're going to work with is our Seriously Grateful for You. I'm going to add some adhesive first. And then I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals. I watched this one demonstrator make these. This is when we were trying to finish up the swaps. I watched this demonstrator create all these really nice, like I totally struggle doing this kind of thing. It's just the honest truth. And she was like making these fabulous looking like ribbon embellishments. Like I was super jealous. But I just kind of watched her, and she was using twine or linen thread, so it's a little bit easier to do it that way. But this is kind of big and bulky. So I like to use my silicone craft sheet, of course. And I'm going to try, hold on. This ribbon's not cooperating. Stop. Okay. Okay, I gotta just pick it up. Okay, and I'm gonna loop it around. And then I want it to go. Oh, goodness. You guys are probably thinking, come on, Karen, get this going. All right, then I want to loop it over here, and then I want this end to come out over on this side. Okay, I want to push that down, and then I'm just going to snip it. So just adding our ribbon on the back side of our little focal point here, the label, it does add quite a bit. Now, don't look at this side because that's a hot mess. We're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to add 5 just because I don't trust this ribbon staying on 100%. And adding the dimensionals will keep that ribbon in place as well. And of course, I'm going to add one in the middle. Okay. Then we're going to just take these off. Come on. Can you hear the birds outside? I do have my windows open and there's some birds singing. That's always nice. That's one thing I didn't hear too much in Utah was birds singing. And it was really nice to be home and see green. Because for me, I don't think I could ever live in Utah. At least in St. George area, because it's just all kind of desert and red rocks. For me, I like a variety of things. I like to see rivers, lakes, green grass, lots of green grass, and trees. Okay, now this one, I think I need to add a little Stampin' Dimensional. Let's just add like a half piece here, and I'm going to sneak it right under there and give it a little bit of support. So what happened was I got too much adhesive underneath this area, and it's sticking to the card front. So I'm just going to take a little small dimensional and layer it right in there. Okay, looking pretty good, right? Use your scraps up They make beautiful cards. We're going to embellish it one more time. And let's see. I'm going to grab one of these pink ones. Why not? Let's add a pink up here. And there's lots of green in here, but there's really not green here. So I'm going to take, again, the Balmy Blue. I'm going to use a smaller one. I haven't used the small ones yet. And I'm just going to put it right here. So we got 1, 2, and let's grab one of these pool parties. And I want a small one. Let's give a little variety. I'm just going to add it up there. Okay, so seriously grateful for you, which I am so grateful for you guys. You guys helped me earn the incentive trip. It was a definite group effort. And I think I'm about 12 or 11,000 points away from the next incentive trip. So I'm going to start having a countdown because I really want to, before I go hiking on the long trail, I really want to hit the incentive trip. So I'm going to be working my butt off to do that. So here we are. Seriously grateful for you. We're all done this one. And we're going to move on to the, oh shoot, I just used the same stamp. Oh well, that's okay. We're going to make another seriously grateful for you card. Again, this is the one that has that little flower embellishment to adhere this nice little fun, like little wraparound, I guess. All right, so this one uses Blackberry Bliss. Again, Mary Merlot is the color that's in this right here, but Rich Razzleberry, Blackberry Bliss, Mary Merlot will all work. So use whatever you have for cardstock. Now we'll work from the bottom up. I have this basic or Blackberry Bliss. Oh, I'm going to show you guys what I got. Something else I received is a new bone folder with my name on it. So it's, let me just take it out. Oh, it's really heavy too. It's a Stampin' Up! Bone folder. This demonstrator, she does lots of engraving, and I don't have her business card, but I'll get it for you guys. So everybody had their name on the bone folder, and it says Gathered Together June 2022. So I'll always remember my first incentive trip with this nice little bone folder. All right, so let's just score that. You know, this one feels bigger. I want to just match up the old one with the new one. So the new one, yeah, it's about the same size. For some reason it feels, I think I'll have to weigh them. I think this one's just a little bit heavier. All right, so here we are with this. Next is easy. We've got your designer series paper, Awash and Beauty 4x5 1/4, which is just going to get layered right down here. This is the back side of it. We're going to be using this color or this pattern on that little, like, I don't know what I want to call this, like a hinge type of thing. I'm really not sure what it's called. I'll call it a hinge for tonight. Just take your Stampin' Seal, 1/2 inch. Remember, make sure you have it angled up so it works correctly. This is kind of a directional pattern, so make sure you have it going the correct way, and just a little bit of 1/4 inch border, all 4 sides. Now, take this. Next step is to take your Blackberry Bliss. This is 1 3/4 by 5 1/2. What you want to do is you want to adhere this down, and it's going to be going underneath the white. And it needs to be long enough to go all the way over here. So what I would do is put it over here. Okay, it's about the same distance. Then my paper trimmer needs to be, I need a new blade. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to just bend this right here, so I kind of know where that the score line needs to be. And I'm just going to hold this and I'm going to score it with my bone folder. Okay, so that's all set, ready to go. And then we're going to add this one to the inside. What you got to do is you got to be, if I got to remember this one right. Yeah, so this score line is going to be right on the edge of the Blackberry Bliss. I want to use score tape or Stampin' Seal Plus. Actually, I'm going to just use Stampin' Seal Plus because I have it right here. You want some adhesive that is super, super strong, which we all know Stampin' Seal Plus is. Score tape is as well. Oh, shoot. I just put that on the wrong. No, I didn't. I did not. I thought I put it on the wrong side. Okay, so again, we're going to, if it makes it easier for you, then just fold it like this. And I'm just kind of guesstimating where that center is. Okay. Press it good and hard. You can also use your bone folder to do this as well. Okay, so now it all works well. I'm going to adhere 3 3/4. I mean 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. I've got all these Post-it notes everywhere. And this is just going to get adhered on here. You may have to trim this one down depending on how far you put your kind of flap thing. So this is just a guesstimate of what size you need. I'm going to just take my scissors and trim this down just a little bit. I don't know where my snips are, so you could use your paper trimmer too if you really want to get a straight edge, but I think you can just cut that up easy enough. Okay, and then we're going to adhere this piece right to the front on the lower side. Then here's that ribbon is under here as a little embellishment. So I'm going to just take my Seal Plus, just a little bit right there will do ya. Take your ribbon. And I want it going over the edge just a little bit. Give it a good press there. And then I'm just going to angle cut this side. Now let's take our Stylish Shapes dies. This is the banner one. Grab my piercing mat. And I'm going to choose A Million Thanks. Let's change this one up. We haven't used this stamp. I love this. I love this sentiment, A Million Thanks. All right, just stamp that with Evening Evergreen. And make sure when you're stamping and using these Stylish Shapes that you have the smooth side up. And if you make a mistake, you can always stamp on the back side, but it's going to be kind of a rough kind of feel. All right. This piece here is going to get adhered straight down, or you can use your Stampin' Dimensionals, whatever you want to use. On this one, I used just adhesive. So let's try that. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus again because it's super, super strong. You can also use, again, your score tape, tear and tape. All right, so center this one. Actually, let me see. Yeah. All right, so this is just going to go right here. Okay, there we go. That's crooked. I hate that when I do something crooked. There. Okay. Oh man, you guys, look at that ribbon. It's so out of place, right? So, I'm just going to trim it down. It's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect, right? Okay, so there's our little hinge. Then I've got a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 white. It's going to go right here. Okay, just warning you guys, my neighbor's coming home And if any of you have ever heard my neighbor's car, it's like super crazy and loud. So hopefully he will just go wicked slow and be done with it. I'm going to use, again, my Stampin' Seal Plus because we're going to be going over that little hinge. And I'm going to put a little bit more on than I normally would. Again, this is 4 by 5 1/4. It's your standard inside big, panel. To dress it up, you can use the Designer Series paper, which you can use a scrap of. And you guys, I don't have any scraps left, I don't think. But yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, so just add some Designer Series paper for the inside. I'm going to take this pattern paper. We're going to fussy cut this one. Okay? And I don't know where my snips are. All right, I'm going to have to use these horrible scissors. So when I look at my paper and I want to cut out these little flowers, I try to go to the corner. That way I'm not cutting like a lot of this out. So we're just going to kind of cut this one off in the corner here. And we're just going to fussy cut this one with these humongous scissors. You guys can close your eyes while I do this if you want. It's not gonna be the best job, but it'll do it. You guys know what I want you to see anyway. Okay. So now you want to put a Stampin' Dimensional on this one, but first you want to make sure you want it. So this is going to come under here and it's going to lay straight. So to do that, I'm going to just hover around here and we need to put our Stampin' Dimensional right underneath this part of the paper. If you put it down here, then it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna, wait a minute, let me see, how many did I put on here? Yeah, I only put one. Where'd it go? There it is. So you want this part of the flower to be on the Blackberry Bliss panel. Okay, and then this side is going to be popped up. So we take our dimensional. I'm totally nervous about this. I feel like I'm doing it wrong, but actually, no. We don't want adhesive on here. Because if we put adhesive on there, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to put this under there. So that's what we want to do. Make sure you press it down. I did add some Wink Stella on this one. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the Wink Stella really matches the ribbon there. So I'm just going to just add a little bit of sparkle. All right, can you see that? It looks pretty nice. The next thing was we're just going to embellish this one with our, these are the solid faceted gems again. I'm going to use pink again, but I'm going to use a tiny one. And I'm just going to put it in the white space. So there's one. Let me grab a Blushing Bride, 2, and a dark color, which is Evening Evergreen. I'm gonna do all of these in smaller ones. All right, we were all talking about, this is really funny, deja vu, right? So we were all doing the swaps, helping, not everybody, but whoever was in the lobby. And we talked about embellishing. It's like, we always know where the two go, but we don't know where to put the third one, right? So I always remember, create your triangle, and that way you don't have them repetitive, meaning they're straight across or, you know, up and down. Make your triangle. So let me see. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in this white spot here. But we all struggle with embellishments, and that was really funny because that was a talk of one of our discussions. All right, so here's this one. This is our last one. I'll do a recap as well. These are, if you want these sizes, I'll leave them up. Of course, we probably don't know which ones go with which cards, but I'm going to stack these up so you can kind of see all of the cards we made tonight. And here's the thank you. I really like this one. I actually like them all. They're all so pretty. And then this one, we did a little bit different just because I didn't have the succulent dies. And then seriously grateful for you. And then I'll go over the kits in the million thanks, the cards in the kits. If you're coming on late, this is my favorite design. So you get to make 3 of these. And can you see that these little die cuts are popped up with the mini Stampin' Dimensionals? So a million thanks. You can decorate the inside very easily. So you have 3 of them. The banners are included in the kit as well. Hopefully this one will not be on back order for very long, because I want you guys to really work with this kit. Kits make really, really beautiful cards. If you're just getting into stamping, I would highly suggest our kits collection. Any of those in there will work really nice. And then here's the Blushing Bride. And again, you can decorate the inside as well. And then this one, I was creating this one and used my Wink of Stella. And have you guys ever used the Wink of Stella and it accidentally drips a big drop? Well, that happened over here on that orange slice. So I never went back to it. So what I would do is I would definitely use my Wink of Stella. I'll do that right now because then I can say that these cards are completely done. All right, so see how that Wink of Stella just adds a little nice little sparkle. There's that one. That one. Whoops, we need a little one over here. And then I'm going to finish this one. This is the one with the big blob on it. Okay. All right, so that is all of the cards. We got tons of envelopes. These are the envelopes that come with the kit right here. Really nice. And then don't forget about my ordering special. I've got 2 going. I will update my blog later tonight so you guys can get to that a little bit easier. But let me just stack all these up here and I'll bring in that designer series paper that I'm giving away. Let's see, what did I do with it? It's got my beautiful grandmother's ribbon on it. I don't know what I did with, oh, here it is. Here, look at the ribbon. And then I'm going to grab it all. Hopefully I have it all. Okay, here it is. So you have a 4x6 Abstract Beauty, Heart and Home, Flowering Fields. We all know this is like our favorite, right? Artfully Composed, Symbols of Fortune, Sweet Talk, New Horizons, Hey Sports Fan. This would be great for Father's Day, you guys. And then Daffodil Afternoon Bonus Pack. I will package it with my nice little tags. I have a card here as well. I don't know what's in this. Let me just take a look. Hello, friend. And then my little note there. So there's something on the back side too. It's probably outdated because I've had this forever, but I'll take a look at that. And then, so to do that, you'll just need to use my host code, which I'll have posted in the description of this video a little bit later. And that's all I have. So I'm going to just scroll through and see if there's any more questions. Let's see. You're so jealous of that bone folder. Yeah, you guys, she had an order. I am not kidding you. She had to engrave 1,500 bone folders. I talked to that lady for so long and just was like amazed. This is like her kind of side business. Bone folders in blocks. Like she does the etching on blocks too. So super fun. Bone folders. All right, so don't see like, yes, Denise can have some more paper if she wants to, Debbie. Okay, I don't have any other questions, so I'm going to sign off and I will update my blog and also update the description box here. I was going to upload this to YouTube as well, but that takes a little bit longer to do. And I'll have all that information there too if you want to watch on YouTube. So you guys have a great evening. It's still light here. I got to go outside and take my bird feeder down because the bear came again, I guess, while I was gone. My husband did not take it down. So I got to go take it down because we don't want the bear to come back. And then I'm going to get to work designing card clubs. So I hope you guys have a great week. I will catch you on YouTube at 7 o'clock on Friday. So you guys take care and let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you later.